Hey folks, welcome back to another review with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at this guy right here, Backyard Builders Treehouse from Crash of Games. And it is a neat little game where you're trying to build the best treehouse in the neighborhood, outdo your neighbors and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's pretty cool. Let's get down to the table and I'll show you. So at the beginning of the game, the first player is going to take their hand of cards here that were dealt out at the beginning, and then they're going to add one card to it. Then they're going to choose one of these cards and add it to their treehouse. Now, what you're looking for here is the most number of points possible, because these levels, these numbers on the different levels, are the points that you're going to be scoring for your treehouse at the end of the game. So another thing you have to keep in contact with, though, is the fact that when you play a second card, you're going to have to match either the number or the color of the second level of the card. So, for example, let's say I chose this one because it does have 8 points on it, so that's the most number of points that are there. I'm going to choose this and place it onto my tree. All right, so now I have the first level of my house done. Now the second player is going to take this hand of cards. I'm going to pass it to them. They'll take it from me and add another one to their hand. Okay, so you always are going to have 5 cards to choose from. And so now it comes back to the first player. They're going to draw another card, add it to their hand. And now they're looking at either the number or the color of this second level so that they can match to this first level here. So I can take this 4 because it matches the number, or I can take this 3 or this 2 because it matches the color. Of course, wanting to get the most points, we want to do that. But if at all possible, you want to have runs of colors, because the person who has the most runs of the same color is going to get a bonus number of points. 1 point for each bonus level. So maybe I do want to choose this so that I can continue this orange. So that's actually what I'm going to do. Even though it's fewer points, I'm going to add that to it because now I have a run of 3 orange. And I can see that no one else is going to be able to start that that orange run. So the game continues that way, until in a 4-player game, 5 of these cards have been played out on everybody's treehouse. And then scoring happens. Let me show you how that works. Each treehouse scores the number of points that are shown on each of these numbered banners here. So for example, with green here, that's 29 points if you add up all of those banners. And then they also had the longest run of orange here, which was 4 colors, so they get 1 point for each of those levels. Then they also had the most in yellow as well, so that's 1 point for each of those levels. So altogether, that comes to 36 points. Purple over here had 28 in what they were showing face value. Then they also were tied with the highest run for both blue and purple. They did have 2 runs of blue here, but only 1 is counted, and so their total came to 32. And then red had 30 points showing, and they were tied with blue, a blue run here, and then they also had a green run here, so they got an extra 4 points, bringing their total to 34. And then black had 30 showing and was tied for a purple up here, and so they got an extra 2 points, bringing their total to 32. So all in all, the score was pretty tight, and you could probably pretty much expect that for a game of people who know what they're doing. The game also comes with these little goals or extra bonus scoring cards that only one would be used. You just give them a shuffle basically, and then flip one over and use one per game. For example, missing crayons. says that end the game with the fewest colors in your treehouse. So you really want to go for those runs and making runs and so forth and so on. Everybody who accomplishes this, of course, with this one, it's only going to be 1, and they would get an extra 5 points going there. So there are these that go throughout the game. In the game with no 4/4 cards in your treehouse. So in the game with the most 3-point floors in your treehouse. In the game with exactly 5 4s of one color. These floors do not have to be connected. All right, so there's a whole bunch of these. You only use 1 per game. So that's a pretty cool thing as well. Adds a little variety to it as well. So let's get to my final thoughts. So that is Backyard Builders Treehouse, a very neat game, very beautiful artwork. Vincent Dutrait does a wonderful job on most of the things that he does, and this is absolutely no exception. He very beautifully captures the different elements that are in each of these different kinds of tree houses. You have, you know, the piratey kind of treehouse levels, and then you have the aquarium-like, very sea creature-ish levels, and then you also have the explorers, and it's just a very neat graphic design that I thought was very good and very appealing to the eye. That's one of the things that I like, that I enjoy about playing this game, is that it's very visually appealing. It may not all work very well. I mean, at the end of the day, you're really just worried about the numbers that are on the levels rather than what is actually in the levels. But it is fun to just stop and take a look at all the different little Easter eggs that are on each of the cards. I really did enjoy the graphic design of this game. So very, you know, 2 thumbs up for Vincent Dutrait on that. As far as gameplay is concerned, it's a neat little twist on the card drafting mechanic, where you have a communal hand. Everybody only has 1 hand of cards, and you're adding a card to that hand when it comes to you, and then you're able to choose one of the cards from 5. And then once you've picked your cards, you take the 4 that are left and pass it on, and then they add another card to their hand. I like that mechanic. It was very simple to teach. It wasn't very difficult to grasp or anything like that. And it always gives you some hope. You know that what's in the hand may not be what you're looking for, but there's always that chance that you draw the next card and it is exactly what you're looking for. So there is that. I really did enjoy that mechanic. Family friendliness is off the charts on this game. My 5-year-old was able to play this game very easily with a little bit of help from me and Mom, but it was still a game that he was able to play because it's simply matching colors or matching numbers in order to build your treehouse. He may not completely grasp the trying to go for the most points aspect, but he was definitely able to play, and that's a huge thing about games nowadays. So you can teach while they're young and get them on board on some of these very general, very basic types of mechanics that a lot of different games use. So that was 2 thumbs up for me as well. So all in all, I think Backyard Builders Treehouse is one of those games that will find its way onto a lot of different kinds of people's shelves, and will find its way to the table many times over its lifespan. It is a filler game, only takes about 30 minutes to play, and that's probably at the top end of the spectrum. But I think it's worthy of your consideration, and more often than not, I think a lot of people are going to just go out and pick it up because it is a very light, fun filler game, and it also has very nice artwork, very appealing to the eye as well. So that is Backyard Builders Treehouse from Crash of Games. We'll see you on the flip side, folks.